Now that you guys understand what sound design is and why exactly it's so important for videos, it's time to dive into our 3-step sound design workflow. And the 3-step sound design workflow is very, very simple. It's basically a workflow that allows you guys to analyze everything that is happening in a video and bring the exact sound effects for it. So when I mentioned in the last course that to do sound design, the way that you do it is you basically analyze what's happening on the screen and you see how you can bring it to life using sound effects. That is exactly what the 3-step sound design workflow helps you do. There are 3 types of things that are happening on your screen in any edit, which you can sound design. The first one is movements. Movements are things like zoom-ins, things sliding into the screens, things popping into the screen, kind of like our text sliding effect, which we created in our animation, our zoom-ins, our boxes sliding into the screen, whatever it is, whatever kind of movement is happening, a camera moving, whatever it is. If there's kind of movements happening on the screen, this is always sound designed with whooshes, and a whoosh sounds something like this. I'll go ahead and take you guys through it. So the first step is you have to understand what movements are. And movements, if we look at them, are basically any kind of zoom in or movement on a screen. You guys will see this once we do it for our whooshes. I'll be diving more into this, but this is what a whoosh sound effect sounds like. There we go. A whoosh sound effect replicates or mimics air kind of flowing by, and when something moves, to bring it to life, you want to make it feel like it's heavy or it's something that genuinely realistically exists. And when something moves in real life, there's air that waves around it, like I'm doing right now with my hand. So whenever something moves in real life, there's air that blows from the side of it. There's the sense of movement comes from the sound of the air being blown around it. So whenever you have any kind of movement on your screen, whether it be a very heavy zoom in, whether it be a very heavy movement on the screen, like something sliding in, something popping up, whatever it is, always sound design those with whooshes. Okay, so the first stage of sound designing is number 1, look for the whoosh, look for the movements on the screen and sound design them with whooshes. And by the way, you guys are going to see me apply this to this video and understand it so much more in the next few courses. The second stage is called textured sound effects, and textured sound effects are applied to basically anything else that is happening on a screen. So textured sound effects are basically whenever you've got any kind of like text animations, any kind of special icon animations, any kind of special icons that you want to bring to life. Textured sound effects are all the clicky or UI, all these sound effects that bring across some kind of texture. Here's a few examples. So this is a click, this is a gear, this is a UI. And these are 3 different kinds of textured sound effects. And as you guys can see, the reason we use the word textured is because they bring an animation a certain texture. They bring it a certain specific feel. And for that reason, we use these on animations to give them a certain feel or make them seem like they are something, right? So if I had a UI clicking on the screen, I would maybe add like a UI click, or I would add a click sound effect or some kind of sound effect like that to give that animation a certain feel. That's why we call it textured sound effects. And the way that we go about these is we watch through our animation, and just like with the whooshes, we look for movements. With the textured sound effects, we look for anything that is textured. So we look for anything that can use some kind of texture, any animation that can use a texture, a click, a movement, a drag, a something like whatever it is. You guys will see us, do this with different examples. Most of the common ones I always use are clicks I use a lot. Gears, if there's any elements like moving, if there's multiple elements moving around, I'll use gear sound effects a lot. If there are clicks like on a UI, if it looks like a UI page, I'll use UI sound effects a lot. So you can use these sound effects a lot when it comes to sound design to basically make a lot of different effects. Okay, so far what do we have? We've got stage 1, which is whooshes. The way we go about stage 1 is we look for movements and we add whooshes to them. And then we've got stage 2, which is textures. And the way we go about textures is we look for any animations that can use a texture that's added to them, any kind of clicks, any drags, any pop-ups, whatever it is, any complex kind of animation, and we add a certain texture to it. The final stage is the emotional stage, and this is the emotional sound effects. The emotional sound effects are, the reason I call them emotional is because all they do is they're responsible for building up anticipation and dropping it down whenever the viewer needs to be anticipated or let down. So this is an example of an emotional sound effect called a riser. And this is another example of a hit. Okay, and these 2 sound effects are used to bring about emotion. So these sound effects are used to make a viewer anticipate a certain moment, like that build-up sound effect that you just heard, or it is used to show a viewer something has been concluded or something just happened, right? It is a moment of anticipation either being built up or being released. And in that moment, you want to use those sound effects, okay? So I just quickly went through them, and I understand that a lot of you guys are confused. And the reason I quickly went through them is because I just want you guys to paint an idea or an image of what sound design looks like inside of your mind. It's these 3 stages, And first you watch through the video and you look through the movements, right? You look for any zoom ins, pop-ups, whatever it is, and you add your whooshes. And the second stage is you watch through the video and you think, okay, what can I add textures to? What animations could I add these UI, clicks, gear, sound effects to? And the third stage is you ask the question, okay, what moments need to be anticipated? What moments need to be hyped up? And what moments need to be a drop of anticipation? And I understand it seems very confusing because you have never done sound design yet. However, I want you guys to, relax, because I want you to understand that in the next few courses, we're going to be diving into each one and really exploring everything there is about it. I'm going to be showing you guys 3 things in every single course that we're about to get into. Number 1, we're going to be looking at how to choose the right sound effects. We're going to be looking at the tactics that we use and the things that qualify the correct sound effects for us to choose. Number 2, we're also going to be looking at what qualifies inside of the video. What should qualify as a movement? What qualifies as a place where we can add a texture sound effect? And we're going to be doing this with both a video that you and I have. And number 3, we're also going to be understanding why these sound effects work and how we can go about placing them. So don't even worry about it right now. I just want you guys to understand that sound design is the 3 stages. How you apply these 3 stages to your videos, I'm about to show you in the next 3 courses. But don't worry too much about that right now. Just remember, there are 3 stages to sound design. There is number 1, you watch and you look for the movements and you add the whooshes. There's number 2, you watch and you look for any textured animations and you add the textured sound effects like the clicks, the gears, and the UI. And number 3, you have the emotional moments, which is like you watch and you think, okay, where's a moment that needs anticipation and where's a moment that needs a drop? And we're about to go through all 3 of these in the next 3 courses. So if you guys are ready to understand movements and whooshes, let's go ahead and dive right into it in the next course. And yeah, I'll see you guys there. Let's go ahead and understand how whooshes work.